everybody, welcome back. Taking a look at Dark City. This is the Arrow release. It is also the limited edition box set that you see here. I recently did actually my last video was another limited edition from Arrow, that was Deep Blue Sea. So I happened to get both of these at the same time. I was in the States recently, so these are obnoxiously expensive in Canada, and there was a sale going on in the States, and so I had these sent there, and I picked them up when I was traveling. And this is the newly commissioned art for the movie. It's kind of blurry, which like everything else is in my camera. Can't really put it into focus here, but and I do like this art. I find it a nice representation of the movie, even if you haven't seen it, if you're looking at certain elements. So, and we have this man who's running. He's on maybe a dock or a pier here, and we have this face splitting open, and the hour striking midnight. These cables or strings, perhaps, are they fueling the city? It's hard to tell. The city here is quite literally twisting and bending, and there's a lot of pieces of the story that are right here in front of you. So I think they did a good job with this art. At least if I were to see this movie on the shelf, I'd get my attention at least. And this also has a slipcover similar to the Deep Blue Sea release. So the J cards appear to be no more for the limited editions. I don't know if that is the case, or just, coincidentally the last two I've purchased haven't had them. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, Silence of the Lambs didn't have a J card either, so maybe they started a while ago. I've been trying to limit my limited edition purchases for a few reasons. But Dark City is one of my all-time favorites, and Deep Blue Sea I actually got a really good deal on, so I didn't mind buying that one limited. But we'll flip this over. So just some spirals on the back here. Again, if you've seen the movie, you'll understand their importance. And then we have the write-up on this side. So if you're not familiar with this movie, I can go ahead and read some of this here. I'm not going to read all of it. Can you see that? Geez, not really. I don't know why I keep checking to see if you can see it, because typically the answer is no, you most certainly cannot, and I don't feel like buying a new camera. But I'll keep doing it. I'll keep trying to see if you can see it. So actually, I'll read this is in the movie too. This kind of has a bend to it. I don't really like holding it down. I'm being very particular today, so I'll move this over here, and let's open this up. So we have a booklet here. There's Kiefer Sutherland looking for his lost mice, and we'll get to his character in just a moment. So I got a syringe, and the syringe also has a broken wall here and can't see what's beyond. So what's behind the wall? You have to watch the movie. How big is this? What's the length here? 55 pages. So we'll flip through that in just a moment. So we have our book, poster, which is pretty typical. The poster has this art that you see here, just in poster form. And on the reverse side of the poster, you would have this art here. So this is the theatrical art, original poster. And if you prefer this art, it's reversible. So now let's flip this over now and see if that comes out a little bit better. Of course not. So, okay, from Alex Proyas, visionary director of The Crow, comes Dark City, a mind-bending science fiction thriller set in the shadowy world where the sun never rises and nothing is quite what it seems. John Murdoch, played by Rufus Sewell, and this would have been the first movie I saw Rufus Sewell. He's been in quite a few movies and TV shows since, and he kind of has like this classic Hollywood handsome going on. I expected more blockbuster movies for him after this, but this movie really didn't do well in the theaters at all, so I guess it's not too surprising. But everything I've seen him in, he's been like exceptionally good, and this movie is no exception. Anyways, John Murdoch wakes in a hotel bathtub with no memory of who he is or how he got there. I can't say. I was going to say, I've been there, John, but I really haven't. I guess I haven't woken up in a bathtub and not know how I've gotten there or who I am for that matter. But there's a body on the floor with bloody spirals carved into the flesh and a voice on the phone that tells him to flee. Soon, Murdoch is on the run, wanted by the police, a woman who claims to be his wife, and a group of mysterious pale men who seem to control everything and everything in the city, except him. With a cast that includes Kiefer Sutherland, as we saw on the back of the booklet there, also The Lost Boys, William Hurt, History of Violence, that's right, he was nominated for an Oscar for History of Violence, Jennifer Connelly, crediting Phenomena, which I mean, she's definitely in that movie. I think that may be her first movie. It's before Labyrinth, I'm pretty sure. And I think it's also an Arrow release, so maybe that's why they're noting it. And Richard O'Brien from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He wrote that Rocky Horror Picture Show by himself, or co-wrote Rocky Horror Picture Show, but he's completely bald in this one. And a script by Proyas, Lem Dobbs, Kafka, and David S. Goyer. Batman Begins. Dark City is a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Oh, that's a bit much. Filmed through the lens of film noir and German expressionism, an extraordinary feast for the cinematic senses. That I would agree with. It is definitely a extraordinary feast for the cinematic senses. This movie does fire on all cylinders. Then we have a limited edition contents. So I'm not sure what is limited. Well, I know the box set and the booklet and the poster and what have you, but sometimes with Arrow, if there's a consensus cut of the movie, like the limited edition will include both, but then the standard edition comes out and drops one of them. And I'd be really curious to see which one they drop here, because they're leading with the director's cut, which came out almost 10 years after the theatrical cut. At least I think it was about 10 years. It may have been screened somewhere, but then the Blu-ray didn't come out for the director's cut, I think, until like 2008 or so. And then we had the theatrical cut, which we saw in theaters in 1998. So this predates The Matrix by 1 year. And if you're finding some similarities here, besides like the bloody spirals, but there's a lot of similarities between Dark City and The Matrix. Though The Matrix definitely devoured cinemas in 1999, and Dark City really didn't have anywhere near the commercial success that The Matrix did, but over time it's become a bit of a cult classic and recognized more as a pioneering movie of sorts. So, that's right, we got the booklet here too. Let's take a look. The Deep Blue Sea booklet has some storyboard stuff, which was really cool. I don't know if that's in here or not. Okay, no storyboards now. So some essay, cast and crew, some essays about the presentation, and then a special thanks. Storyboards for this would have been pretty cool to have in the booklet, but yeah, so quite a few essays here. I'll read through those later. But yeah. Oh, there's my girlfriend, Jennifer Connelly. A little blurry right now. And he cut this guy out of the picture. And there's Mr. Hand. Looking quite pale indeed. Yep. So I'll put this up here and let's go ahead and I think this came with more stuff, right? Open this up. And we got some postcards here. Greetings from Shell Beach. Anything on the back? Okay, yeah, so a place for postage. And then write your friends a message, put it in the mail, and watch their confusion or assume their confusion when they get this. Oh, we got Shell Beach. View of the Bay Area taken by Mike Sunderdro from the garden on the top of the hill. That's a nice touch there. It's just, how do you get to Shell Beach? That's the question. Yeah, we have Murdoch here. Looks like he's lurking, spying. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland with a patient. Oh, there's my girlfriend again, looking quite lovely. So, in the theatrical cut, she's like a lounge singer by night. Maybe that's her only profession, but in the theatrical cut, she's dubbed over. In the director's cut, it actually is Jennifer Connelly singing. And what do we got here? Oh, this is Kiefer Sutherland's character. So his business card is handed to Jennifer Connelly here at one point during the movie. So 1106 Southeast Drive. Never talk to strangers, especially tall, pale ones. And we got the director's cut, and we have the theatrical cut, both 4K discs. So there's no Blu-ray included with this release. So it's interesting. I haven't watched the theatrical cut in years. So I saw this movie when it came out of theaters, and it blew me away. I was like, this is incredible. You know, telling your friends about it, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, sure. And it was one of the earlier DVDs I picked up. Really enjoyed this movie. And then I remember when the director's cut came out, it was getting a lot of, well, at least what I was reading, people seemed excited about it. Getting a lot of attention, and some comments by Price about it being, you know, a true director's cut, not like an extended cut. And there are some, the most significant change is the opening, like the prologue of sorts. In the theatrical cut, there is a voiceover narration by Kiefer Sutherland's character that provides some context, and in the director's cut, it doesn't exist. It kind of almost has a cold open of sorts. So you're a bit more disoriented, much like the main character. But the theatrical cut, I feel, has a much more aggressive pacing. It's very much moving you quickly from one scene to the next. The editing is very snappy. The director's cut is about 10 minutes longer and kind of gives everything a little bit more time to breathe. So on one hand, you're a little disoriented in the director's cut because there's no voiceover narration. On the other hand, you kind of feel more disoriented in the theatrical because of how quickly the movie is paced. But this is a really great science fiction film, and if you haven't seen it, I put it on like the must-watch list. It's really brisk for the theatrical cut. It's only about 90 minutes, and the performances, I feel, are great across the board, especially Nevish Kiefer Sutherland here. So definitely a must-watch for me, and thanks for watching the video.